Where would you get rid of something if you needed to get rid of it? You'd toss
In the
it
head
down.
of a holler, in a well. Really locals are the only people that know about this site.
We're in Eastern Kentucky. We're right on the border of the Tug. There was a lot of stuff happening. All right, hang with me here because this one is a crazy story. For those of you familiar with the Hatfield McCoy legend and all the history surrounding the country's most famous feud, you know that I'm standing in front of Aunt Betty's house. The time that the Hatfield McCoy feud happened was after the Civil War, and emotions and tensions were still running high. You hear the term outlaw a lot, and there were a lot of outlaws after the Civil War ended. The Hatfields and the McCoys are considered outlaws in many people's minds because of the whole feud, but there was another outlaw during that same period, Jesse James. That's where these two stories are going to combine, because right behind me, up this same road, is an old abandoned house with a well with a little sign that says, "The James gang drank water here after they robbed a bank in Huntington, West Virginia." So I want to go ahead and preface, it is on private property, so I'm going to take you with me as I go up there. But first I'm going to meet up with an old friend of mine, Nee Jackson, who has a little bit of an insight on this story. He's going to take us up there. Tell me how you became acquainted with this location where we're going.
I worked for a company, and we primarily did work for mining companies. We sampled and treated streams, water wells, and one of the sites that I had to test a water well happened to be in Lower Stringtown in the Burnwell area. I was kind of intrigued by it, so I took a picture of the sign that's on the well. I knew the person that lived at the home, talked to a couple of folks that have some historical background with the Hatfield McCoys, and started piecing it together to add some validity to it. It's one of those things what really nobody knows very much about. The really local locals are the only people that know about this site, and it's kind of secluded. It's the next to last house in a holler.
Well, the locals, it's one of those, oh yeah, we know about that. You know, if you know, you know.
Yes. You know, our history says a lot about who we are and what we are. So I try to share little tidbits with people.
So this is documented that it is Uriah McCoy's house. So that's not part of the legend. Part of the legend is who drank the water out of it.
So the way I understand it is the James gang, when they were traversing the Tug River, that they needed to have their horses shoed, and that Uriah McCoy was a blacksmith. And so it was kind of a twofold thing. They need to water their horses. They need to have one of the horses shoed. It amazes me how people make contact that aren't from here, that, you know, they're riding the horses in, coming from Huntington, West Virginia, and, you know, you jump in a vehicle and just drive that and think about how long it took, and how do you connect with people when there's no, other than verbal communication, you don't know anybody. Had I not experienced it with that previous job, I would have never known that this site was here. And it's a piece of history.
It is a piece of history.
That needs to be shared so that people know. You hear a lot of folklore, and you hear about different people back in the days, bank robbers and what the Wild West and the gangs. And, you know, when you see something from the James gang, you know, that I was like, so I started researching it. Like I say, when I got out, got some signal, and you know, it was pretty neat to be able to start tying everything. The Hatfield McCoy, the James gang, Cole Younger's family was involved in this.
For this to happen right now, you have had to have, of course, the event happened, but then it was handed down. And like a lot of our Appalachian stories are, you know, person to person. And then you had somebody like Jimmy Wolford, who was all about history, ended up with his home place. So there are a series of events that had to happen, because it could have gotten lost along the way had Jimmy Wolford not picked it up and made these signs. I'm assuming he's the one that put the signs on the property. So, and then that's part of what we do here, is we're documenting these and we're putting it out there, because my big fear is that these things are being forgotten. Our older generation, we're losing them. And if that's not being carried on, then we're going to lose this information.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And nobody wants to lose a piece of their history.
But the fact is, good or bad, it happened, and it happened right here.
Absolutely.
Like, I want to look. Sorry, I want to look down in this well. Set this over to the side here. Wow. That's insane. You know what I want to do?
Yeah.
I want to get a magnet, one of those big, powerful, the ones that people do the magnet fishing, and drop it down in there and see. Because you know things were thrown down the well.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, you never know that there wasn't a gun involved in a murder. I mean, you know, that's how we think.
Yep.
We think these fantasy things.
Oh,
But
yeah.
listen, we're in Eastern Kentucky. We're right on the border of the Tug. There was a lot of stuff happening.
That's exactly right.
During that time. And where would you get rid of something if you needed to get rid of it? You'd toss it down. In the
head of a hollow, in a well.
Yes. This is crazy. You know, this is like the other well, we could say, in the whole Hatfield McCoy thing, because Bob Scott, we know, has the McCoy well. And this is another McCoy well.
Yes.
So McCoy wells in the whole lore of the Hatfield McCoy feud played big roles.
Absolutely.
So this was 1875.
Yes.
And looking at my timeline with the feud, I think 1878 was when the hog trial happened. But even in 1875, things were brewing.
Yes.
Between these two families. Gosh, this was a great trip. Thank you for taking the time to bring us up here.
My pleasure.
This information is just too good for me not to include in this video. Obviously, this is not the same day that I filmed that. A couple of days after I got home, was talking to someone about this story, and they were like, hold on, wait just a minute. And they brought me this. Look at this. Someone wrote a book and documented this robbery that this video was about in Huntington, West Virginia. From everything I've gathered and then what this book says, there were 4 armed men in the James Younger gang who did go into that Huntington, West Virginia bank. They did rob the bank at gunpoint, and from what everyone can tell, they made away with between $10,000 and $20,000 in cash. It doesn't appear from everything that we're seeing that Jesse James himself was here during this. It was Frank James, his brother, and Cole Younger, and then 2 other men. One of those men was captured and spent probably the rest of his life in prison. The other one was killed by a couple of farmers on down the road when he tried to steal a horse. So of those 4 men, it looks like 2 of them, Frank James and Cole Younger, were the 2 that actually made it back. Keep checking back. And if you subscribe, you'll get notified when the new videos come up. And I promise you, we've got some doozies coming.